Do we know if anyone else is coming?
We're expecting almost everyone,
Okay.
so.
I need to recuse myself from the case tonight. Because I'm within the notice district.
You're within the... All right, we're on the air. I call to order the Borough of Oradell Zoning Board of Adjustment meeting for Monday, July 20th. Notice of this meeting was published in the official newspaper, prominently posted in Borough Hall, and filed with the clerk's office in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. This meeting is a quasi-judicial proceeding. Decorum appropriate to a judicial hearing must always be maintained. Any questions and comments must be limited to issues that are relevant to what the board may legally consider in reaching a decision. All right, let's do a roll call, although I suspect we may have some late additions. All right. Mr. Lau?
Here.
Ms. Odinsky?
Here.
Mr. Devine?
Here.
Santaniello's here. At the moment, Mr. Camporeale, Ms. Day, Mr. Bartlett are not yet here, although they may arrive. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So we have a couple of things to get to. We had in our email earlier today the approval of zoning board meeting minutes from June 15th. That was our last meeting. Did anyone have any comments or corrections on that?
No, I'd like to make a motion, we accept the minutes as distributed
All right.
to the June 15, 2026 meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent. Okay, meeting minutes are approved. Correspondence. We have some correspondence from a couple of different places. All correspondence is available currently on file in the construction official's office. Anyone interested can stop by and ask to peruse it. All right, zoning board procedures. And like I said, we're going to wait for one more person to slip in before we really get into the application tonight. But I'll cover the procedures now. The zoning board is a forum for property owners to apply for exceptions to local zoning ordinances. If what someone would like to do with their property isn't something the building department can approve, they can seek a variance via this process. The way we conduct these meetings follows procedures laid out by the New Jersey Municipal Land Use Law, and that's what determines what can be said and when it can be said. So thanks in advance, everyone, for your understanding and cooperation. Okay. Just because it says it here, no new cases will be started after 10:30 p.m., but I really don't think we're going to be here that late. Let's talk about the resolution. We had a resolution from our last meeting for the decision on calendar 897-26, Mendoza at 404 Demarest. Did anyone have any observations or changes on that? Vincent, your mic. Oh, sorry. No?
No.
All right. In that case, would anyone like to make a motion on this resolution?
I'll make a motion that we accept the resolution as drafted.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right. We can't do voice votes on this, so let's call the roll. Mr. Liao?
Yes.
Ms. Odinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Devine?
Yes.
And Santaniello, yes. We're good to go on that. All right, let's get this signed. Yes, yes. 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 Absent. All right. There is everything in order, if you would be so inclined. Thanks. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this here just so I remember to bring it to the construction office afterwards. So now is normally when we would start the application, and normally 4 would be enough for us to get into it. But Vincent let me know that he's within side of the notification, so he's going to have to recuse himself for this one. So maybe we'll just cover some administrative business just while we wait, because I know Carlo did say he's coming. He's probably just getting off a bus, or he could be in the parking lot now, and that'll let us go forward. So under the, let's call it the old business category, the cybersecurity training, are we good? Is everyone caught up?
I did mine.
Okay, there were 2 sections. There was the first half, and then once you finish that, they get, congratulations, you get more work to do. So everyone did both sections?
Yeah.
As far as I know, yeah. I mean, one was a while ago, right?
Yeah, one was...
Yeah, so as far as I know, I did too. But yeah, I haven't seen anything that I'm delinquent.
Okay. All right. Yeah, same here. I know that usually they send me an update, but I guess we're not there yet. All right, that's it. Does anyone else have any other old business? Anything else we need to cover? Hey.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Look at that. All right. We are in good shape. So we were stalling. We were making the best of it, but now we're in good shape. So with that being said, we can call calendar 898-26 to the table. Come on down. Okay. Yep. Oh, you can sit up here. You can use you can use the table.
Oh, okay.
That's all yours.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mr. DiBenedetto, I just want to let you know, because we only have 4 members, that is a quorum for your application, but you'll need a majority of the members present to vote in favor. And given that there's only 3, if you get 2 and 2, a tie is deemed a denial. So I just want to let you know that before you proceed.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
So because there's only 4 members here, you'll need 3 to vote in favor of your application. If only 2 vote in favor, it'll be a tie, which will be, in effect, a denial.
Okay.
Just, I mean, can you actually hear the case and then postpone the vote for somebody to review basis the videotapes if necessary?
I mean, you could, yeah, but I
don't know if the complexity of the application. I mean, I guess we can see how what we learn, but yeah, we can reassess as we get close. But all yours.
You can hear me from here, right?
Yep. Yeah. So that box is a microphone, but if you get, I don't know if you're using any presentations. If you move from there, just take that portable with you.
No, just me, no presentation. Okay, good evening.
Is your mic?
You have a microphone in front of you, sir. Can you just use the
No,
mic?
the
thing in front of him
is a microphone.
Oh, I don't know if it's on.
Yeah. You're good to go.
Thanks for your time tonight.
Can we just swear him in first? I'm sorry. I know he's an applicant, but
Of
he is
course.
testifying. Can
Yep.
you just raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can you just state your full name and address for the record?
Sure. Martin DiBenedetto, 734 Amaryllis Avenue.
Thank you. Go ahead.
You know what, Erica? I realize you got to swear in Dave.
And yes,
Sorry.
can you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Just state your full name for the record.
Sure. David Atkinson.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thanks again. I'm here to request a retro variance for a small lot overage at my home at 734 Amaryllis. I'd like to walk you through what happened, why it happened, and why I believe granting this variance is a reasonable and appropriate outcome under zoning standards. When my detached garage was built in 2017, the subcontractor mistakenly expanded the driveway and small paver area next to the garage by about a foot. It wasn't intentional, it wasn't part of the design, and it wasn't something I asked for. It was a construction error. The approved plan had lot coverage at 39.9%.
39.9. Okay.
The as-built survey shows 41.3%. So there's a 1.3% difference over the 40% limit. After the 2017 engineer's memo, we were exploring 3 potential options: removing hardscape, potentially acquiring a small strip of adjoining land, or seeking a variance. None were simple. That evaluation period took longer than I expected, as these things often do alongside work, family, and the normal pace of life. Before we landed on a path forward, the pandemic hit, and my wife began a 2.5-year cancer journey. From that point, and since her passing in 2023, this issue moved far down on my list of priorities. I share this not as an excuse, but to give you a complete and honest timeline. I'm requesting relief now under both the C1 and C2 standards, with the understanding that the board will naturally determine which applies. First, correcting the issue would require tearing out portions of the driveway and paver area that have been stable for several years. Demolition would create cost, disruption, and potential drainage impacts. The physical condition of the property today, a fixed small overage created during construction, makes compliance difficult without physical alteration. I recognize the board will look closely at how this came about, and I'm not asking for that to be overlooked. I'm just asking the board to weigh it against the practical reality that the deviation is small, fixed, and correcting it now would create disruption with no corresponding benefit. Under the C2 standard, the benefits of granting this variance clearly outweigh any detriment, and the relief advances the following 4 zoning purposes. 1, avoiding unnecessary demolition of stable improvements promotes efficient land use and avoids environmental disturbance. 2, maintaining stable drainage patterns avoids creating new issues where none currently exist. 3, preventing wasteful corrective action aligns with the zoning purpose of promoting appropriate development. And 4, preserving the established neighborhood character. The property has looked the same since 2017 with no complaints and no visual impact. I support Oradell's lot coverage limits as they prevent residential properties from turning into parking lots. In this case, the property looks completely typical for the neighborhood as a single-family home with a standard driveway and modest paver area. There's nothing unusual about it. There's no impact on stormwater, no impact on neighbors, and no impact on the character of the neighborhood. Before I close out, I'd also like to briefly address a related engineering question raised about stormwater capacity in a letter I received this past Thursday. On the stormwater side, the calculations show that my current system is very close to the borough's 2-inch standard. It's short by about 57 gallons, which is roughly 7% of the system's total capacity. I want to point out that the numbers the borough already approved are conservative. The chamber manufacturer's own spec sheet actually lists a bit more storage capacity than what the approved plans credit it with. They list 560.3 gallons versus 546, which was used in the calculation, and I'm not sure why that was the case. So if anything, the real capacity of the system is a little higher than what's on paper, not lower. In practice, though, there have been no drainage issues on my property or on my neighbor's property since the work was completed. One neighbor recently told me that following my garage construction, previous property flooding has stopped, and I have actually experienced the same on my own property. Given the modest difference and the positive draining performance we've seen, I'm asking the board and borough engineer to consider accepting the existing system as effectively meeting the intent of the stormwater requirement rather than requiring invasive work. So as I close out, as noted, the ordinance aims to prevent large-scale paving that changes the look and feel of residential lots. The situation is a small, unintentional deviation that is visually indistinguishable from the approved plan. Granting relief here does not undermine the ordinance's purpose or set a precedent for major deviations. I believe this is a practical, reasonable solution that aligns with the ordinance and the public good. I respectfully ask the board to grant this relief so the property will be in compliance. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Let's start with Dave.
Sure. So,
Can I just say first, I'm sorry. So I know that you indicated you're advancing the C1 variance as a hardship, but I mean, your property is undersized, so that could be considered as part of the hardship, but having to remove what has been constructed is not a proper basis under the municipal land use law to get a C1 variance. So the hardship could potentially be that your property is undersized. The board will weigh that, but merely having to remove things that were put there mistakenly is not a hardship under the municipal land use law. I just wanted to say that.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
sure. Just so the board's aware, so I mean, as far as the information related to the proposed the drainage that was constructed, unfortunately, as we delved in with the building department, we didn't have that information. So I would, and that was one of our comments in here, is we would like to see that, because I know a lot of times when the things get constructed, they need X amount of storage, and sometimes they'll oversize it just because you're on the shelf item is a 500 gallon, 1,000 gallon, and then you put your stone in with it as well. So just so you're aware, we weren't able to get a copy of the calculation, so if the board looks favorable upon the application, I would just say, that could be a condition that we look at, is to make sure that the drainage does satisfy it. Maybe there's some other, if it is only, 50 gallons of storage that's missing, maybe there's a way to put in a drum or something to capture some of the water to store it. Maybe, like a rain barrel or something of that nature, just to help mitigate the increase. Because obviously, if this application came before the board, where it was the whole picture and they were coming originally for that portion of that, the additional 140 square yards of impervious coverage, we would look to capture all of that. So ultimately, from the engineering standpoint, as the applicant has testified, it doesn't appear there's any issues with neighbors or whatever. I mean, nobody's here to complain about it. I know from being the borough engineer, there's issues in and around the area, but not related specifically to this property here before you tonight. So the biggest thing I have is just really the stormwater, and usually just, we're looking to mitigate the variance request that they're looking for. And typically something of that nature is a way to address it. It could be also, maybe we look to put, I'm just throwing things out, permeable pavers or something of that nature to help capture some of the runoff. But anyway, as far as questions and stuff, I don't really have too many. It's just wanted to note to you guys, our biggest concern really is the stormwater aspect and making sure that things are properly addressed. From what I could tell in the records, we were able to get a couple other letters from Boswell just to confer, based on the language in there, the stormwater was installed, it was inspected by them. I don't have the actual reports and photos and stuff that they may have taken back then.
Right.
But just the language in the letters that we received, the stormwater is installed. And if you do look at the property, there is a trench drain along the driveway, so that's tied into something as well.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Atkinson as well. I think there was another comment in the letter that wanted the as-built survey to be updated. Is that?
That's, the as-built, I think, there was a comment from Boswell back in the day where they wanted everything to reflect and I think include where the stormwater system is.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, it's so we have documentation. If the current applicant moves on, at least there's record for future owners so they know where that is. Plus, over time, they may have to do maintenance on that as well. So then they know where to look for that.
Okay. The discrepancy between the manufacturer's stated capacity and what Boswell gave credit for, I guess, would that cover the deficiency in the...
I would have to see what they're talking about. I would assume what was reviewed was provided by their engineer at the time. They provided the calculations based on certain things. You do have to keep in mind that if you're just going to, I guess, question for you, do you know what was installed as part of it? Is it a concrete seepage pit, or you're not sure?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I did discover that discrepancy, and I can share with you the calculations that I did so you can take a look.
It could be, if you're going to say, let's just say we have a 500-gallon concrete structure, there is portions of that structure that there's walls, so that's not going to store stuff. So
Oh,
if you're going
they
to take
count
and
the-
say it's an 8-foot round structure, and I'm going to take and run the area, the volume of it, you do have to deduct for the wall thickness and that type of stuff. So it's not a 100% storage sometimes, if you're going to run it based on that.
Okay.
But I would be happy to look at it if there's, the numbers, everything matches up. But I would make that a condition of your approval, that they satisfy the stormwater side of things.
Can I just ask, when we have this discrepancy as to what's even there and where it actually is, shouldn't that have been submitted as part of the original plan in 2017 for review?
So the discrepancy, so what?
Not the discrepancy.
That's confusing me as well, Tom, because I do know where the seepage pits are. I have a drawing that shows where they were moved because they were originally put where my driveway is, and when we did the driveway construction, they moved them to another spot. So it's in a drawing that I have somewhere.
So
We don't know
I
what
think
they-
to make this easier, because I don't think we're going to solve the stormwater and where things are right now. And I understand what you're saying, Mr. Devine, that I think there is a concern about where things are and if we're going to capture the runoff. So I think the first condition, if the applicant's amenable to it, would be to provide the calculations that have been referenced to Mr. Atkinson's office so that they can confirm that those calculations are accurate and that they're capturing the runoff that they need to. And then secondarily, the comment was that the as-built that was submitted needs to be updated to show the location of the seepage pits, underground connections, pipe size, and those things to the satisfaction of Mr. Atkinson's office.
Right.
Because I understand what you're saying. We need to make sure that this additional impervious captures, that the stormwater system is capturing the additional impervious. But I think right in this moment, we don't have necessarily those details. So I think the condition, it sounds like, according to the testimony, that it's fine and nothing's flooding. But I think the conditions would be to satisfy Mr. Atkinson's office related to stormwater and runoff.
So does that mean that, Dave, you'll take the calculations, if the calculations work, nothing needs to be done? Or do we know that the calculations are off?
We don't know anything at this point because I haven't received anything. I haven't.
So whatever you get, if the calculations work, we don't have to do anything?
So
Mr.
your
Benedetto
condition
doesn't
be
have to do
that
anything.
a condition the board could put on there is that he satisfies the stormwater. Whether it's we review it, the calculations come out, and everything is satisfied, or if you want, if it needs to be addressed and the system needs to be enlarged or something additional to capture. Again, if it's 50 gallons, maybe it's a rain barrel on the gutters and it holds the water. And they can reuse that to water the garden and stuff. That's something that could be looked at. But I could work, if you give me the authority to do so, we'll work with the applicant to address that stormwater.
Well, shouldn't that be done prior to reviewing for necessary for variance or approving any plan?
You could just make that a condition of it, that they would satisfy and work with the borough engineer related to the stormwater.
We've done that in the past, but a lot of times there are many, many more variances, so that seems like a footnote. But in this case, it kind of is the issue.
It is the issue.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that's the issue at large. So.
Yeah.
Right. I understand a lot of things has happened since 2017, and but theoretically it should have been addressed when the final CO was issued for the
Right.
and why. I understand there's timing discrepancy and a lot of personal trauma between the wife situation and all. I respect that, but it's 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think Mr. Devine, too. I think I wouldn't look at the application as is the stormwater satisfactory for the property, because we do know that documentation was submitted when this improvement was made. I think the issue is not stormwater overall. Is the stormwater system sufficient for the additional impervious? I'm not sure that we're looking at, I don't think we're going back in history and deciding if his previously designed stormwater management system is capable of handling the property, because that was done. I think the issue is you're granting an impervious coverage variance for coverage that wasn't contemplated when the improvements were built. So that's the question.
And just for perspective, how many, because I realize these plans, at least the plans I think I'm looking at, are
2017.
2015. Yeah, so these plans are from the original construction. So how many square feet over of impervious are you now versus what was approved for the plan?
140.
140 square feet?
I think it's 140 square feet. It was somewhere, it's 1.3% over the 40% limit. and I'm pretty sure it's around 140 square feet.
Okay. So 140 square feet of impervious would affect the stormwater management by, I don't know.
So
Do we know?
Yeah, I mean, I can run the calcs real quick. I mean, you're talking 20, it's 23 cubic yards of storage. And so, I mean, it's about 100 and almost, let's just call it 200 gallons additional storage would be required.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not a small amount, but it's not a huge impact. I mean, just to give you an idea, 140, I mean, so his driveway from the street going back is about 75 feet. So it's 75 times 2-foot section.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
We're a little over 10 by 10,
Yeah.
10 by 14 area.
Okay. All right. Any other? So, was that it? That was your main?
Those are
Yeah.
really the two key things was the as-built showing of the location of the drainage system along with the piping, and the other is just addressing stormwater.
Okay. Eric, anything else?
No, I would just open to the public for questions.
Okay. Well, anyone else on the board? Any other? I mean, it seems like water is the main concern. Any other questions from the board? Okay. All right, we can open up to the public for questions. This isn't the public comment section. There will be one. We'll get to that. But if you have any questions specifically on the testimony we just covered, we can open that up. But nobody's moving, so we'll shut that down. Okay. Do you have any other content? Anything else we should know? So it's really just, it's 140 square feet of extra pavers and the stormwater management.
Part driveway, part pavers.
Part driveway, part, okay, all right. 140. So that's 14 right there.
And the encroachment is not on the neighbor side, the encroachment would be on your side.
On my side, right?
Because I believe there was, the original application was for the side yard setback for the garage.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I guess I'll just ask in terms of the variance criteria, do you perceive any detriment to your neighbors as a result of the improvements that you've constructed?
No.
All right. So we've covered questions, we've covered public questions. There's no more testimony. Erica, keep me honest. Procedurally, what do we do? Public comment next?
Public comment.
All right. Public comment. Let's do it. Do we have any public comment? If you would, head to the podium. And then if you would just give Erica your...
Yeah. Sir, can you just raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can you just state your name and address for the record?
My name is Lou Essler.
Sorry, can you repeat it one more time? Lou?
Lou Essler,
Can you spell your last name?
E-S-L-E-R,
And what's your address?
746 Amaryllis Avenue,
I'm assuming Oradell?
Boardl.
Yeah.
I am Marty's West Side neighbor. We share a common boundary.
Thank you.
Before I read my statement to you, I gather what you're talking about recently is a storage facility in Marty's yard enough. I'm his West Side neighbor. My yard sits about 10 inches below Marty's yard. I have a sump pump. I have a backup water sump pump as well. I'm bone dry. And I used to flood all the time. But let me read my statement to you, and you'll understand what Marty's changes have done benefiting my property. So I just want to say that everything Marty and Maria did to their house has benefited me. Prior to the changes to their yard and their house, my yard would flood whenever heavy rain. It caused me to install a backup water pump. Since the changes to Marty's yard and home, I no longer flood. My sump pump is bone dry today. I might add that my daughter Maureen, who spent the first 21 years visiting Tom and Ann Clinton, they were the prior owners of Marty's home. She recently visited me. She lives now in Atlanta. She said, "Hey, Dad, Marty's home is the most beautiful in all of Oradell." So what I ask you to do is just allow Marty to say everything he's done. It's solved all the flooding in my yard. So thanks for listening to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment? No? All right. So we'll close it off for public comment. I guess what's left? We talk about it?
You can let him add any. I mean, it was in favor of him, so I don't know that you have anything to add. But if you have any last things to add on your application before the board deliberates.
No. Thanks again for your time.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's get some opinions. Carla, what do you think?
I don't have a problem with, granting the variance at all. I guess as far as the calculations are concerned, I certainly understand the concern that we have, and I guess we probably should make it subject to, although I'll be honest with you, if nobody's here and for the last 10 years he's had that property and the storms we've had over the last 10 years and there's been no issues, if we're going to make it a condition, I'd like to make it in such a way that it's the least, has the least imposition on the homeowner. It's something that should have been done 10 years ago. Maybe it was when you get the calculations, but I'm in favor of just granting the variance and keeping things the way they are.
Okay. Jeanette?
I kind of feel the same way. There doesn't appear to be any adverse impact as a result of what was done, and in fact, perhaps based on the testimony of the neighbor, an improvement. So, we could, as Carlos said, have the extra added protection of having the applicant work with the engineer's office in case we find out that there is a discrepancy in the capacity. Maybe just verify what the capacity is, even.
Yeah.
And update the survey. I think that's important to have that as
Well,
well.
I think if I understand correctly, I think updating the survey was what triggered this discussion.
Yeah, but we don't have one yet.
Oh, we don't.
No, so we do have an as-built survey.
Right.
I believe that was submitted as part of the application.
This what actually shows what's there.
So no, the as-built survey is not showing the seepage pit, which is why the Neglia's office had asked that as-built survey be updated. It sounds like you might have a drawing somewhere that has it, so it might be very easy to update the as-built. But that was the request because the as-built's not showing the letter lists. To have the as-built survey updated to show the existing seepage pit and underground connection, pipe size, type, and alignment.
So the survey that we're looking at that says 1,000 gallon seepage pit, and then it has 6-inch PVC. That's not the seepage pit we're talking about. There's another seepage.
Can you show me which plan you're looking at?
This is dated the 17th.
One's different.
Sorry, 2017.
It's from 2017.
Yeah, you have a different one than I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mine's not showing that.
Maybe we have two in the packet.
You see here, and then you have
Yeah, my survey doesn't show that. Interesting.
Yours is
Yeah, the version I have does not have that. I'm not sure why.
1217?
Yeah, I don't have that. I have.
yeah, you don't have any
No,
revisions.
that's not what I was given. Okay.
So maybe we already have. Is this?
So that would satisfy the one condition of the as-built showing that information.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to see the calculations. If you have the original ones that were submitted to the town at that time, and we can verify where they're at. But again, that's up to you guys to make the decision on that.
Okay.
May I ask a question? how is that done? Do I need to provide something, or is that like something that's on in the town records?
So we
original
looked into
calculations.
town records. They don't seem to have it.
Okay.
And the former engineer hasn't been responsive. So,
Is that Boswell?
yes.
So, Mr. Atkinson, does the as-built show what you need it to show?
The as-built that I saw,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so there's no longer a condition to update the as-built, just
Correct.
clarifying.
Okay. So it's just a matter
As long
of...
as Gabby has that and that goes into the town's records,
Right, yep,
we're good.
Okay.
okay.
So I think the only thing left would be the condition related to providing the stormwater calculations to Mr. Atkinson's office.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. We diverted before you got to speak.
Yeah, I think we've all kind of said it. I mean, I agree with Mr. Essler. It's one of the nicest houses in the town of Oradell. You know, the way it's been done, I think it looks like everything's been done correctly, and with the documentation, you know, had this been starting anew, I don't think there would be any question of the size, but I think it's very important that we update we have to update the water calculations just for the sake of everything, you know, that's necessary, and that it should, along with that, just also be reviewed by Mr. Depkin, who's not here tonight, in terms of any other reasons why, you know, I mean, from the town's perspective, if this was, you know, delayed for 10 years, you know, for what reason, and should it have been addressed sooner? But I think we're addressing it now.
Okay. Yeah, likewise, I share the same sentiment as everyone. I think the proof is in the pudding, as they say. The fact that you had that the existing construction had such a dramatically positive effect on your neighbor's property from a drainage perspective. I know that neighborhood. I'm up and down that block every day. For being just a few houses away from that brook, I know to not flood over there is a bit of an accomplishment. So, yeah, I'm in favor. So, from a motion standpoint, would anyone like to make a motion?
I think we had pretty much discussed the motion that, you know, pending review of a document that the engineering company doesn't have, and the update of the water survey, and any other comment from Mr. Depkin's office as to the timing of this. I have no problem with the additional. I would make a motion that we grant the variance for the coverage.
And this is calendar 898-26.
898-26.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I second it.
All right. Roll call. Mr. Campriel?
Yes.
Ms. Odinsky?
Yes.
Mr. Devine?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So normally we would say this thing where, you know, if you wait 45 days after the resolution, just so that nobody can object, but seeing as it's there already.
But yeah, prior to our final approval, it probably wouldn't happen at next meeting unless all the documentation and then it comes back from engineering that, you know, everything's great.
So I would get, in terms of your question about where to get the calculations, whoever installed it for you is probably the first place I would go.
I'd probably start with whoever your professionals. So I don't know, do you recall who you may have worked with? Was there an engineer involved, or was it the architect?
It was probably the architect.
Okay. So I would start with them. They should have the calcs, I would believe.
I actually believe I have this on another set of plans. I just have to look first. And
Yeah. I know, I didn't see it in the architectural plans themselves, so.
because it was a two-phase project. We did the home first, then the garage. I think this exists in the home plans, which
Okay.
I'll look for. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right. So we kind of covered old business ahead of time. Carlo, just before you walked in,
Yes.
we were talking about the cybersecurity, but I think, oh no, you heard that, right? The cybersecurity classes, you finished, right?
but I'm done with them.
Okay, all right, so we're good there. That was it for old business. Does anyone have any new business? No?
The
All right.
resolution will have the conditions too, but the minutes will
We
be
can
on-
open it up for public comment.
Yeah.
Do we have any public comment from anyone?
I'll make one more comment.
Okay, so this is public comment not related to the application, but that's fine.
Just to reiterate, if any one of you right now, we had, tremendous rains yesterday. You come into my basement, which always flooded, and you'll see a sump pit there with a backup water sump pump as well, bone dry. And I think that really, no matter what anyone says, that change of property changed everything. Thanks.
Thank you.
Got a lot of other places where you can fix.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Want to move next
Should come to my parents' house.
Paul Sonis, 50 Beverly Road. The last meeting that we had with the mayor and council, they passed the 2610, and they're going to combine the boards. And I know that you're aware of that, and I'm hoping that you be on the main board when they make this board. I hope that the people on the zoning board are not left out of being there. I think that you should be on that board. And I hope that it goes well. I hope it it's something that comes out well, even though I was against it. But I hope we want things to be good for us and better the conditions for our town. And I hope it goes well. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Looks like that's it for public comment, so we'll close it up. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Have a wonderful evening.